Well, let's piss off some tree huggers today. We're cutting down trees. Now, if it bothers you to watch trees getting cut down, you're probably going to want to turn this video off. But for all of you that think that I'm doing something bad by cutting down these trees, or that I'm evil, or whatever it is that you think, we didn't buy this piece of property and move out here so that we could just clear cut everything and get rid of all the trees. Like, you got to understand that. We want to keep as many trees as possible. We also understand that we're going to have a house that we don't want trees to fall onto. And we also have to be responsible for the land and clear dead trees that are home for bark beetles and stuff like that, sick trees. We got to get those out of the ecosystem so that the rest of the forest can be healthy. So for all of you that think that cutting down a tree is bad, this video is probably not for you. But for all of you that understand how it actually works in the forest, stick around. We're going to cut down some trees and kind of get some stuff cleared up today.
Baby, move, baby.
Now I could go over to the danger zone, right? Woo.
So this one was more of a workout than any of the other trees we've cut down, because I was trying not to fall it over into the road and the power lines that are over here, and of course it was leaning that direction, so we had to rig up a strap and a come along, put some force on it that way, and even then she just didn't want to fall. But she's down now, and
Can you help?
hopefully this is give me a lot of room to dig over here on this side. I've been putting this one off for a while. So when you got a piece of property like this out in the woods, this has been private property for a long time, so there hasn't been a ton of logging, firewood cutting, anything like that. So you've got a couple of different things that you're going to be doing if you're coming into raw land, and you're going to build a house. Number one, you're going to get your house pad ready. You're gonna have to, you really need to remove the trees that are going to cause problems. Our house is gonna be about right there where you guys are in the camera. This tree up here is the big one that I just cut down. It posed a threat to the house. So you gotta pull stuff like that out. It's an older tree. I definitely don't want to get rid of it. You know, it's a big tree. It produces a lot of shade. I like that. I like trees. But it was a threat to the house. Now, some of these ones back here, you know, I don't need to pull them out. I want them to stay. So that's the first thing that you got to think about. And the other problem is you got areas like this, where we haven't had wildfire through here. These trees have not been thinned naturally, and you've got a bunch of overgrowth just right here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 trees in this little 10 by 10 area. Here's the problem with that. These trees are competing with each other for resources. Now, in a normal scenario, where we haven't suppressed wildfires, you know, stuff like that, a lot of these smaller trees get thinned out, you know, by natural selection. Wildfires, all that kind of stuff come through and they kill off some of these smaller trees. And then the bigger trees get the opportunity, you know, like this guy right here, it's going to survive, you know, a slow, cool fire moving through the forest floor. This guy is probably going to die. That means that this tree gets the nutrients. There's, you know, I don't know, 6 or 7 trees just around the base of this guy that would get thinned out. So you have to come through as the landowner if you want, you know, healthy trees, healthy forest on your property, and clear some of this stuff out. It's obviously a little tougher on a mountain like this because you've got to go through and can't just run through with a tractor and kind of plow down a bunch of stuff or cut a bunch of stuff up. You got to, you know, walk the sides of the hill, cut a lot of this crap out, and you know, get it so that this tree can be healthy and grow up, and you know, be around for a long time and not just be this little, you know, brush pile more or less that's just sitting here waiting for wildfire to come through. And then what happens is you get stuff like this, it catches, and that's how it gets up into the crowns of the trees and then starts taking out, you know, big swaths of the forest, and then you end up with the moonscapes. So it's actually better to go through and remove a lot of this kind of stuff, you know, to keep the property healthy and protect these older trees that are that have been around for, you know, hundreds of years. And sometimes you get one that's old, needs to come out. These smaller ones around the base then have the opportunity to get more light, more nutrients. They have the opportunity to grow up and become that next big tree. One thing with climate change, you know, whatever, bark beetle is just, it's devastating to the forest here in the Southwest, especially. And these trees, you get a sick tree, it can become infested with bark beetle. They multiply, and then it's just a chain reaction, and those bark beetles start really taking out the rest of those trees. So it's something that you got to be cognizant of. If you've got a bigger tree that's sick, you need to get it down and, you know, use it as firewood. Just get it out of play. A couple of these trees up here are actually older trees, and there is just a ton of bark beetle holes in these things. And luckily, we get a fair amount of precipitation up here. Trees being able to produce sap and, you know, stay healthy like that is what helps protect them from the bark beetle. But if you had, you know, a few dry seasons, they can really get in here and just wipe a lot of stuff out. So it's something that you got to be cognizant of in, you know, protecting your property, because we don't come to areas like this and try and live this kind of lifestyle so that we can get rid of all the trees. We want the damn trees. So for all of you out there that think that what we're doing by removing some trees is bad, you really need to go back and do some research and see exactly how the actual ecosystem works in the forest. I had a bunch of wind going today. I don't know how I really feel about cutting some of these other ones down. Yesterday wasn't horrible. I was able to get a couple of things cut down, and we've been removing some stuff, so I'm gonna wait here for this thing to calm down a little bit. This little baby tree shouldn't be too big of a deal. Oh. This damn chainsaw. There we go. Want to cut as few trees as possible. That's why, you know, I've waited so long to cut this. I didn't come in and just start clear cutting everything to open everything up. I wanted to see what I felt was going to be a problem, what isn't, and definitely any trees that that are going to be way harder to remove when the house is built. I just want to get them out of the way now. So I've got plenty of firewood, obviously, because we've had to clear all these trees. I got a friend up here that's got a mill, so I've got these two bucked out so that he can take them up to his mill and make some lumber out of them. And then the rest of this stuff we're just kind of clearing. I'm actually throwing some of the small stuff off the edges and kind of off the edges where we've backfilled or stacked the rocks on the terraced area, just as organic matter to kind of decompose and get in there and start turning into soil. And then some of this bigger stuff I'll just burn in a burn barrel, or we'll take it down, let it dry out, and we'll use it for firewood in the fire pit or something. This is the most annoying part about cutting down trees. It's just dragging everything out of the way, trying to clean up. If you're wondering what chainsaw I'm using, this is a Stihl MS-271. I like this one for me. Having the right chainsaw is also a safety thing. You know, I've got another chainsaw that's less power, a little bit smaller bar. I could cut this tree down, but I'm gonna spend more time doing it. And it's just slower cutting through the tree, and honestly I just want to get it done and get it down on the ground. Any extra time that you're spending there, it just seems dumb to me. So that's kind of my reasoning. This thing's good. It starts pretty quick. I don't have to fight it much. A lot of these newer things, they're not like your grandpa's chainsaw. They're a little bit easier to maintain. I don't know. I like this thing. Chainsaws, that's a whole other debate. Find another channel to talk about chainsaws and, you know, what's better and what's not. But I do like this one. It's a good quality chainsaw, and it does everything that I need to do. I feel comfortable using it, and that's kind of the most important part for me. I just want to be able to get the tree down and not be fighting the chainsaw and the tree at the same time. I just want the chainsaw to kind of do what it's supposed to do, so I can focus on what the tree is doing, get it cut, get it down, and then deal with the aftermath like I am right now. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. Definitely be careful when you're cutting down trees. If you don't know what you're doing, just stop and you know, get somebody to mentor you, teach you what you're doing. I'm not the greatest at doing this, but I'm comfortable enough with the trees that I've got. And if the couple that I've gotten had some questions about, I've just had, you know, one of the guys up here that's got more experience than me come down, have a look at the tree, you know, maybe let me know, you know, what their thoughts were, and, you know, then I went from there. So be safe out there, and we'll see you next time.